don't usually make personal videos on here, but I did an event last night at the Brooklyn Public Library with Alexis Miguel Johnson, who's the president of Planned Parenthood, which was amazing. And during the Q&A, someone asked me a question, and I feel like I didn't give like a totally honest answer. Basically, someone asked, how do you do this work without like curling up into a ball and crying every day, right? How do you like write about abortion constantly? How are you thinking about this stuff all the time without just completely losing it? And I gave sort of like my stock answer to that, which is I like made a joke about Zoloft, which is a joke, not joke. I talked about the importance of my community, and that's all true. But I feel like I could have said more because the truth is, in the lead up to that event, like on the day of and the hours before, I had to spend a lot of time going back and forth with some security consultants we got because I've had like a couple of death threats, and that unfortunately has been a part of my life and my work for a long time, but they've sort of ramped up over the last few months. And the thing is, I wasn't even upset about it really, which I think is a problem. Like my assistant, when I was explaining to my assistant what was going on, you could see that she was like really shocked and horrified and freaked out, and was understandably puzzled at my sort of like jadedness around it. And I think there's a real danger there. There's a danger for the people who do this work to become comfortable with that, right? I am hardly the only person who gets these kinds of threats or harassment. Like when you look at abortion providers specifically, like the way that they are targeted, like that is a part of their everyday life. But it's horrible and insane. Like that's not normal, and it worries me that we're becoming used to it. The day before the event, the day before yesterday, I was traveling back from vacation from Miami, and in the airport I had I wear like a abortion is normal button on my bag, and as I we were going through security, a TSA agent was like, whose bag is this, whose bag is this? And of course, you think that there's something in your bag, and long story short, she called me a murderer, right? The TSA agent. And my daughter was there, my 14-year-old daughter was there, and she was like a bit shook. And again, it was just like, I'm used to it. And I'm not sharing this because I'm looking for sympathy, because again, like everyone who does this work deals with this to some extent or another. Even people who just care about this issue deal with this. But I'm sharing it because I think sometimes I am not open enough about what the consequences are of working on this issue, caring about this issue. And I think in my efforts to keep people motivated, activated, optimistic, that I'm not transparent enough about this, and that I give people the impression that the folks who are fighting this fight are like, good, we're strong, we can do it, like we let stuff roll off our back. That's not always true. Sometimes you do need to like curl up into a ball and cry. And doing this work every day and continuing to do this work every day because the alternative is unthinkable doesn't mean that you continue to do this work without letting things impact you, right? They do. And if you talk to people who are in this space, doctors, writers, activists, like anyone who works on reproductive rights, you will find that people have like real lasting emotional and physical difficulties with this, right? Like I have friends who have developed long-term health problems because of the impact of the stress and the trauma of it all. And even just doing the work day to day changes your life, right? Like I don't have friends, like not really, like, or I have friends, but like I'm not a good friend anymore. Any free time I have, I spend with my family because I barely get to see them as it is, right? And so there are real trade-offs that you're making in order to do this work. And again, not saying this for sympathy, but for transparency. Because the other thing that happened last night at the Brooklyn Public Library is like I did a book signing, and I was talking to a lot of women, a lot of younger women who are interested in doing this work or being more active. And I feel like I want people to know like what the reality is, right? It is still the most fulfilling work of my life. I can't imagine doing anything else. I feel confident that anyone you talk to in the repro rights space would say the same, but I feel like I would be doing folks a disservice if I didn't if I wasn't more honest about like, yeah, this can really suck. Even just caring about this issue can really suck, right? Like, especially if you are in a red state, especially if you are in a community that is largely anti-abortion. And I think the answer is we just need to figure out a way to live with the difficulty and challenges side by side with the energy and joy and activation that we have as well. They're they both exist. They both exist, and we have to acknowledge them both. So yeah, sorry that this was like a longer, random, personal rant, but I couldn't stop thinking about it last night after this event, where I was like, I think I just felt like I should have been more open to that question.